Hi everybody, today we'll be doing this paper, so 60612 2023 October November. So for the first question, so if you see me putting questions over here, so just ignore that, just focus on the paper and me. So diagram shows this cubic polynomial. Find the expression for f of x. So f of x, now first of all, what are the roots? So let's write down one. X equals minus 1/3, x equals 1, and x equals 5.2. Let's focus on minus 1/3, so we can multiply both sides with 3 to get 3x equals minus 1. So 3x plus 1 is a factor. Then for this one, x is equals to 1, so x minus 1 is a factor. And finally for 5 over 2, so we could write 2x equals 5, so 2x minus 5 is a factor. So therefore f of x must be k times x minus 1 times 3x plus 1 times 2x minus 5. Now why do I write k? Because sometimes this minus 15, so we don't know yet what the result is going to be, but let's see. So if I substitute in x equals to 0, so f of 0 will be k into minus 1 into 1 into minus 5. What does that equals? That equals 5k, and 5k is currently minus 15. Therefore k must be equals to minus 3. So f of x equals minus 3 into x minus 1 into 3x plus 1 into 2x minus 5. Let me just check something. Yeah, max 1. Okay, then for question 1 part B, so write down the values of f(x) such that f of x is less than 0. So what is less than 0? This whole portion is less than 0, and this whole portion is less than 0. Let me highlight that. So this whole portion is less than 0 and this is less than 0, whereas the red parts are those which are greater than 0. So this and this, so this equals to, so this is greater than 0, and then this is less than 0. Okay, so we want the green part. So first one is from minus 1/3 to 1, and then after 5.2, just need to write it like that. Minus 1/3 is less than x, less than 1, and then that x is greater than 5/2. Okay, then 1C, I guess. Or no, question 2. Well, that's good. Okay, so the function g is defined by this for all values of x. Write down the amplitude of g. So to write down the amplitude of g, the amplitude will just be this value, which is 5. That's the amplitude. And if you do minus 1, so you get minus 7, and if you do plus 1, you get like 5 minus 4 is 3. 3 minus 7, so you do this thing minus this thing, so that's 10, and then 10/2 to get amplitude is just 5. So it's as simple as that. Then 2B, so write down the period of g in degrees. So g in degrees, so period is only going to be affected with this thing, this, and this affects y, this thing affects the x. So to find the new period, so I can write g of x as like a sine, is it sine? Yeah, it's sine, a sine bx plus c. So a is like 5, b is 3/4, and c is -2. So the period of any curve is just 360 over b, and since b equals 3/4, so the period is 360 by 3/4, which, let me calculate, is 480 degrees, and that's the answer. If you had to find the period in radians, then 360 would just be 2 pi. 480 you can find out whatever that is in pi. I think it's like 8 by 3 pi, something like that. Okay, so on the axis we have to sketch the graph of this. Fine, you can do that. So y is equals to g of x. So we know that the period, so they've given us 180, 120, so it's like basically every 60 degrees. So what I want you guys to do is that my calculator is currently in radians. If you're using the CAIE FX991EX class with, so you first press shift, then click the menu button. Sorry, you don't, I'll start over. For the CAIE FX991EX, you go to menu, and then you press the down key 2 times, or if you're on 1, you press the down key 2 times to get to table, which is 9, or you can just press the number key 9. Once you've done that, you put in the value. So, and oh yeah, I was telling you the correct thing. So, but you can do it right now as well. So you have to do shift and press menu to go into setup, and then press option, the number key 2, and then press 1 to switch to degrees from radians. If you're already in degrees, then that's good. Then you have to enter this equation. So 5 sine 3 by 4x minus 2, and the range, so range is -180 to 180, and then the step is every 60 degrees, so 60. So it gives you the values. So the values I want you guys to like focus on really right now is that at 120 it's at 3 degrees, at 0 degrees it's at -2, and at -120 it's at -7. So what's really happening here? You might be thinking, oh, we just have to draw a straight line, don't we? Well, no, that's not really the case. At 180 it's like -5.54, so I'll put that in the middle somewhere here. At -60 it's the same. So like this, you might be like, oh, this might be going a bit like this, but let's find out. So we've done at 0, then at 60 we have 1.54. Let me put that around here, and then at 120 we've done, and then 180 is like this. So what's the key to drawing this? So you first want to connect this to this, the other actually, and then connect these 2 points in one continuous rhythm, and then you want to like go sink down here to the next 2 points. Oops, that doesn't match well. Like this, and then let me just give me 1 minute, guys. So I think I I should remove this part to be fair. So this goes like this. So this goes like this. You just need to combine these two, join these two actually. Yeah, that would be acceptable enough. Since I'm using this fountain pen, so the thickness might change, but in exam we make sure that all of it is at the same level of thickness. Okay, then moving on to question number 3. So this is 5 markers, so let's see what they've told us. So when ln y plus 2 is plotted against x squared, a straight line graph is obtained. The line passes through these points to find the value of x. So for 1 second, forget about these complex like expression things. Let for 1 second y is equals to ln y plus 2, and then capital X equals x squared. So since this is like straight line, I would say that this thing equals m times this thing and then plus c. But what if I wanted to write that as y and x? So capital Y would be equals to m capital X plus c. What do I change? I changed literally nothing. So y equals small m capital X plus small c. So 9.37 equals 2.25 m plus c, 0.25 m plus c, and then 3.92 is equals to 4.75 m plus c. So what does this all mean in the first place? Does that mean that I can find a simultaneous equation? So you guys will need to solve this, but I'm just going to put it into a calculator to save time. So 9.37 and then 4.75. And since it was a calculator paper, so technically you could use one, but it's preferable to not. So m is coming out to be, doesn't mention anything about decimals of these answers being in decimals. It's minus 2.18, and then c is equals to 14.275. Yeesh. So ln of y plus 2, so you're now converting back to the original form, is 14.275 minus 2.18x squared. So to find y in terms of x, so y plus 2 will be equals to e raised by all of this stuff, 14.275 minus 2.18x squared. So y is equals to e raised by 14.275 minus 2.18 x squared minus 2 ans. Okay, let's move on to question number 4. Where is question 4? I think it's this one, yeah. 4a, what does it say? So another 5 mark, interesting. So first 4 terms can be written in this form. What is the value of n and p and q? So what is your first instinct going to be? My first instinct was to write this thing down and then write the first 4 terms of this thing. So nc1, so first n 1 raised by n, then nc1 into 1 raised by n minus 1 into minus x by 2, then nc2 into 1 raised by n minus 2 into into minus x by 2 whole square, and then nc3 into 1 into n minus 3 into minus x by 2 cubed. So 1 raised by anything is just 1. So this is 1. This is nc1 into x by 2. This is nc2 into x squared by 4. And this is nc3 into x cubed by 8. So now compare this to 1 minus 8x plus px squared plus qx cubed. So 1 and 1 are the same, and then the x squared and the x cubes you can cancel out. So I know that nc1 by 2 is 8, and when this last one should be minus. And what is nc1? So if I open this formula book, so NCR or NC1 is NC1, which is n factorial by n minus 1 factorial, and then this thing is 1. So n factorial is just n times n minus 1 factorial, so that's just n. Then you have n into n minus 1 divided by 2, then n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 divided by 3 factorial, then 4, 5, 6, and the multiples of n, they like keep on, so they're like n, then n minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth. If you like start off with n10, so you'll get 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and so on and so forth. Okay, then what do we have? So nc1, so n would be equals to 8 times 2, so n equals 16. Now that n equals 16, I can say that 16c2 into 1 by 4 is equals to p, and 16 times 15 by 2, or let me just write 16c2. I'm not doing it the hard way. So 16c2 times 1 upon 4 is 30, and then 16c3 in minus, or I could write the minus 1 at the end, minus 1 over 8. So 16c3 into minus 1 by 8. So this is q, which is minus 70. So to beautify how you write this, you could write it in set notation. So n, comma p, comma q. If you write that down, so this will be equals to 16, comma 30, comma minus 70. And that's the answer. Okay, I think that was 4a. Then I guess we'll have to move on to 4b. I think 4b is this one. Yeah, find the time independent of x in this expansion. So instead of writing down the whole expansion, just work with this term first. So let's say where this is 6 to the power 6, this is 0, no, 5. So write down, so x10 we get x, x8 we get x squared, x6 we get x cubed, and then at x4 we get x4. So what we get x4 with, this is 4. What we get x2 with, that's 2. So since we're all the way to 2, so we could write that this would be 64 into 2 by x squared squared times whole squared, and then x 1 3 whole thing is by 4. So 64, let me calculate there. I mean 64 and 62 are literally the same thing. So 62 is 15, so is 64. Yeah. So this is just a minute, yeah. So this is coming out to be 15 times 4 by x raised by 4 times x raised by 4 by 81. Because 0 raised by 4 is just 81. So basically this is 4 times 15 by 81, which is like 80 by 81. And 80 isn't like a factor of any 3, so 80 of by 81, or maybe we could simplify. No, we can't. So 80 by 81 will be, oh no. Let me just turn on rotation lock for you guys. So 80, it would be 60 upon 61, not 80. And 60 upon 81 can be simplified. So 60 upon 81 is 20 by 27. 20 by 27. And that would be the answer. Sorry. Okay, then this question 5. So solve this equation. So now wait. Before you move a step ahead, let some add maths is like basically more of like lets instead of buts. So you have to do the 8s and the buts and the lets. So 3 things. I mean, 8s and buts are not really in add maths, but lets are. So I'm just making a joke. I'm just cracking a joke, to be fair. Okay, let's become serious now. So 80 by 80. Sorry, I'm still stuck. My mind's still stuck on that previous question. So, now what can be the range of our precious little u? Well, we know that minus pi by 2 is less than theta is less than pi by 2. What if I multiply pi by 2? So minus pi is less than 2 theta is less than pi. What if I added pi by 6 to it? So minus 5 pi by 6 is less than 2 theta plus pi by 6, which is u, less than 10 pi by 6. So u must be in between these two values, and these must be in pi. So now what do we do? So we know that 3 sec square u equals 4. So sec square u equals 3 by 4. So sec u equals root 3 by 2. What is cos u equal? Cos u, you'd never really have something like sec u inverse, cos u inverse, tan u inverse, cot u inverse, cosec u inverse, something like that doesn't really exist in math. That is calculated. It might exist, but at this level we don't know enough any. So cos u is equals to 2 divided by root 3, which is basically 2 root 3 by 3. So I'm looking for when cos u is 2 root 3 by 3, and to make things a bit easy for you, I'm gonna use decimals to graph it out for you guys. So cos of, let's say, theta, y obviously equals cos theta, and then we have 2 in sqrt, 2 square root 3. Let me put y and y equals 2 root 3 upon 3. That's interesting. Have I done something wrong? What exactly have I done wrong? 3 sec u squared. Where's my calculator? Here it is. Square root of 3 by 4 is root 3 by 1 to n, and 1 upon answer is root 3 by 3, which is greater than 1. I mean, what did I do wrong? Everything looks fine. I've done this method like so many times. What if it's like a plus minus case that minus works? Mine is just translated, nothing. Does it even have solutions? What is so 3y equals what is the equation? Equals 4, so 3 sec square 3 sec sec squared x. Okay, and so this thing must equals 4. So oh, I just realized the mistake was it's 4 upon 3, not 3 upon 4. All of this is just rubbish. 4 over 3. That's like 2. Wait, did the roots just change the positions? This is like root 3 by 2, I guess. No. Yeah. And then finally I have solutions. So now instead of this, we're gonna do cos of, let's say, theta, cos theta, and then we're gonna do the square root of 3 upon 2. Obviously at y equals, and we just need to look for solutions. So u must be from minus 5 pi over 6 to 7 pi over 6. So the only two solutions are minus pi and 6 and pi by 6. So u is equals to minus pi by 6 and u is equals to pi by 6. So now we have to formulate a formula for theta. Theta must be u minus pi by 6 over 2. So theta, so for the pi by 6, so pi by 6 minus pi by 6 is 0. And then for minus, we get minus pi by 3. And then once you do that, you get like minus pi by 6. And now let's do this same thing, this same operation, but we're doing y is equals to 3 sec squared, square is over here, squared of 2x plus pi over 6 with the bracket closed, and then we want it to intersect y is equals to 4. So obviously for the range we stated earlier, so minus 5 pi by 6 all oops, no, from this is like pi by 2, this is supposed to be pi by 2, and this is supposed to be minus pi by 2. So there are extra solution as well. So minus pi by 2 is the solution for and you might be thinking, why is it that there are extra solutions over here? And extra solutions are here because of this. So theta is this minus pi by 2 and then pi by 3. So all of these. So since it's like less than, so this will need to be eliminated. So it will just be these 3. So yeah, then there's question 5 complete. Let's move on to question 6, which is a sun marker. So we don't have a whole 7 values. Oh my. So the polynomial p of x is such that ax squared plus bx plus cx minus 5 is equals to a. So is p of 0, p prime of 0 is 12. So we have differentiation. 3x minus 1 is a factor and 95 is remainder. Oh my, this is going to be a tough one. So I challenge you to do this. If you can't, you have to like, share and subscribe to our channel so that we can make more videos like these for you. Thank you for your contribution and support. Okay, let's move on with the video. So the polynomial this, so first things first, so p prime of x, so that's going to be 3ax squared. Then b of x is 2bx, and then c of x, so c of x differentiates to c. So p prime of 0 is 12. So you know what this means, c is 12. Because this is 0, this is 0. So c is going to be 12. Then 3x minus 1 is a factor. So this will be 1 over 1/3. So p of 1/3 is a into 1/3 cubed plus b into 1/3 squared plus c is 12, so this would be 4, and then minus 5, so 4 minus 5, that is 0. So you know that a by 27, and looks like more of a 9 instead of an a by 27 and b by 9 is equals to 1, or you could write that a plus 3b is like 27. You could call that equation 1 for now. Then x minus 2, so x must equals 2. So x2p is equals p of 2 is 95. So let's put this a into 2 cube plus b into 2 square plus 12 times 2 minus 5 is going to be how much? 95 this side. Or the 95, yeah, it was 95. So 8a plus 4b is going to be so 24 minus 5 is 19, and 19 is equals to all of this. So 19, so plus 19 is equals to 95. So So let's find out what this 8a plus 4b equals. So this is 76 if you divide by 4. So 2a plus b equals 19. So that is like equation 2. So I'm going to write down the values of a and b. So a is 6, b is 7. So to again beautify, so a comma b comma c is 6 comma 7 comma 12. Answer. Okay, then 6b. So show that the equation only has one real root, which is r divided 3x minus 1. So 3x minus 1. Some 6x cubed, 7x squared, 12x minus 5. This whole thing you have to like divide. So first you have to divide this term by this. So you get 2x squared, and this is 6x cubed minus 2x squared so that's 9x squared, then 12x so minus 9x squared, and then minus 3x. Again cancel out, so 15x minus 5. And finally you can take do the same thing, so you can see that 5 is a multiplier. So when you subtract this, you get 0. You get 0. So for this, what do you do? And what would you do? So b squared minus 4ac discriminant test. Which is this thing. So b squared minus 4 times a times c. This is how it works. And 3 squared is 9. which is minus 31, and since it's less than this, so it's less than 0. That will be the answer. Okay, then question 7. So I heard that you find these topics more difficult from like the YouTube WhatsApp communities. I'm gonna link the description to the WhatsApp community below. The video in the description as well. So I just launched it, so do make sure to join that community as well to stay tuned for updates. Once I like more subscribers, then I'll also start giving tuition lessons. So yeah, your job is to support me that way. Support me all the way there. Okay, so you can only use this, but the 6-digit number cannot start with 0. And this will be 9. Yeah, it will be 9 into 9 be 5, or 9 times 8 times 7 times 6, and then there's 9 different ways to do that, which is 136080. Then how many are divisible by 3? So to find the number that are divisible by 3, so first thing is going to be something math. So you can have 8 choices, and so if it's like a 0 or a 5, so for 0 you have this, and then for 5 you can write them alternatively. So I think, let me calculate as well to make sure. So this is 15120, and then the other one is 13440. And then if you add these together, you get 28560, which is the answer. Okay, then I'm moving on to part B. So a community of 7 people is to be chosen. Find the number of committees. So 6 and 8. 6 plus 8 is like 14. 14 and 10 is 24. So it's about 324C7, which is 346104. Then this one, number of committees, if they're all on the same one, so the number of committees, if all of them need to be on the same, so you've already chosen 6 people already, yeah, and then you only have one person to choose from. So yeah, I think if all the doctors, so you originally had 24, and then if all the doctors have to be same, so it's supposed to be 18. You have 18 choices, other choices, and then you have one other person to choose from, which is just 18 options. Okay, and then I think this is the last one. So let me go. I think it's this one. Yeah, this is the last part. So find the number of committees if there needs to be at least one dentist. So you can do 24C7 minus 16C7 to find the probability that at least there is one dentist available. So that is 3, 3, 4, 6, 6, 4. I hope I'm not writing P's. And I'm not writing P's. If you wrote a P, this is like going to give you an astronomically large number, to be fair. Very, very large. Then 8 part A. It is given that for this x is greater than or equals to a and that f inverse of x exists. So if we consider a rough sketch of this graph without the x's, it will be like somewhat like this, because the x value is positive. So it will be something like this over here, and this is like where A is. So it's like the line of symmetry that breaks these two apart. So basically non values from here, and so we could do like 3y plus 1 whole square equal x plus 4. So f inverse of x, this is like calculating in my brain. So x plus 4, yeah, it square rooted that, and then you did minus 1 over 3. So here, what was the range? So you need to find the range of this. So if you put in this thing as 0, so it's like from minus 4, so that's your domain. So from minus 4 and onwards, so if you put in minus 4, so then you'd have minus 1 over 3, so it would be simply minus 1 over 3. The simplest way was to just, since we had minus 1 over 3, I mean, why did I teach you that if it's for you no use? Using the value of a, write down the range of f. So this is greater than or equals to, so this, all of this was 0, so it must be like f of x greater than or equals to minus 4. I'll just put this picture. I already wanted to sketch f inverse of x and f of x. Let's do that. I'm opening this for your help. So y equals 3x plus 1 whole squared minus 4. So this is what it looks like, and then script it Let's save the stick thingy. And then the second one is y equals square root x plus 4 and closing square minus 1 and then whole thing divided by 3. So going back over here, so to sketch, you can look from here. So I have this point. We have, okay, ignore that. We have this point, and then these two. So so I haven't put the intersection points, but this is what it's supposed to look like. So I could like just screenshot it like this. And I could remove this little thing. You can just replace this graph with this. Okay. I hope you understand that. Then let's move on to this. So it is given that, okay, it's given a lot of things. Solve this equation. So never ever in your entire life will you have to hear or even use composite functions or even hear the word composite function because of the method I'm going to teach you. And you'll be so happy after seeing this, because composite functions for many people is like, huh, what did you just do? Can you explain that again? So instead of like first taking g of x, so like starting from, if I had like f of g of h of x, so first take g of x and then put h of x into g of x, then put the g of h of x as the input. So it's like somewhat in a way it like goes like this, and let's say I say 8, so solve this. So you will not be able to solve this unless I told you work from this. So first do h of x, then do g of x. So what do I mean? I mean that set 3x minus 2 equals 4. whatever x comes out to be, put that into this equation and then say that this thing is that x, because this x is effectively, so you could say that u is all of this, and then you know the value of u, so that u is just x, we just haven't replaced it yet. So first you do 3x minus 2 equals 4, 3x equals 6, x equals 2. Now we need to find for which ln 2x squared plus 5 equals 2. So 2x squared plus 5 equals e raised by 2. So x squared is equals to e squared minus 5 by 2. And then x is like the plus minus square root of that thing, is this thing. And that's the answer. And then we have question 9. So solve this equation. So first of all, you want to let u is equals to x plus by 2 upon 3. So 12u minus 5 by u minus 11 equals 0. So 12u squared minus 11u minus 5 is going to be equals to 0. And just need to solve the quadratic. So these are what we call disguised quadratics. By the way, I have these. I have a section of this called Almad Notes. I have a whole book. I have the formula sheet in this folder, and then from topics like 1 to 17, I have made the notes. Then you can do this past paper session thingy that was from like Math Lead by Saad, and then the Ginger Mathematician. So he did some question, I've solved those, and then Saad, the Math Lead by Saad guy. So I did his practice questions, and then I solved every question from the book, and then this I'm doing all. This is the note I'm recording in, so it's all my past paper from 2026 to 2018. So my goal is to like complete all the papers till 2018. Okay, let's continue. So u is 5.4 and then u is minus 1 over 3. So x is by 2 upon 3 equals first 5.4. So cube that and then square root that. So 5 upon 4, cube that and then square root that. So you have 5x equals to 5 root 5 by 8. And then x to the 2 over 3 is equals to minus 1 over 3. So now, here's where the problem occurs. So if you cube it, okay, but my square root of negative numbers is technically not solvable. So x is going to be equals to this, which is math error. So there's a large math error involved in this. So let me just plug that in. That okay, there's like a math error that like that. This is so weird. To be fair, feels weird doing this. To be fair. Okay. Let me just. Is my phone getting a bit laggy, or is it just me imagining stuff? Or is it? Yeah, it's lagging. My phone's lagging. It's lagging too much. I think I might have to like stop the video. Oh, 5 root 5 upon 8. They want to simplify 5 root 5 by 8. They could do that though. And why do they want it to 1 decimal place? It's fine. 1 decimal place, that's 1.4. It's take and go away. Okay, then what we have, let me just double check that this was 9. Yeah, this was 9. Okay, then question 10. So in this question, all the lengths are in centimeters and all the angles are in radians. A diagram shows a badge. You call that a badge? It's a minor sector OAB. Okay, fine. Of circle O, a radius 12, fine. And a kite OBCD. OB equals OD. OB equals OD. And CD equals CB. C to D equals C to B. AB has length 27. Line OB is perpendicular to CB and COA is a straight line. What is the perimeter of the badge? So first things first, this thing will be 12. This thing is the same as this, so this is also 12. And then this thing and this thing are the same. This is like 12 times some multiplier, like 12k. So what do we think? How do we solve this? So OB equals OD. A kite OBCD. So arc AB has length 27, so we could find out what theta and radians is for like area calculation later, but so we simply need to find this length, and to do that we need to have at least this length so that we can solve the question. But we also might have a trick up our sleeve. Since there's like a right angle over here, and sum of angles in a kite is 360, so I could say that this angle, and then this angle are all 270 degrees summer, whereas this and this and this are all like 180. So I can say that this thing and this thing, these two, when you add them together you get 90, which we already know from the fact that there's a right angle triangle staring back at us. So to be fair, I can't really think of anything else. I mean, theta, let's just find theta first, which is by this angle. So 27 over 12. What is 27 over 12? 27 over 12 is 9 quarters or 9 fourths. So you have 9 quarters in radians. AB has length 27. So we need to find the area. Sorry, the perimeter. I think there might be a formula for perimeter of the kite. But so this angle, maybe we could find this angle, and since I think I might have an idea. They said the COA was a straight line, so this whole thing must be pi, and since we found out theta and radians, so maybe we could do pi minus 9/4 over as this angle. Let me write that down, pi minus 9/4. And since tan of this we can calculate tan of this, and it will be equals to this over this. Let's call this x. So tan of pi minus 9/4 is equals to x upon 12. So x we can find out, and I'll store that as variable a. My calculator times 12, we can call that a. So this is 0.187. Fine. Now, wait, what am I reading right now? Why is it 0. Oh, I forgot to turn my calculator into radians. That's why. So this is actually 14.86. Sorry guys, 14.86. Because you might remember at the beginning of the video, I like a few questions after, I think I told you to like go to shift menu and then convert yourself into degrees if you aren't already. So just did that because I was in degrees, so I had to go into radians. So this is 14.86, this is x. So what is the perimeter? So it will be this plus this plus this plus this and then this. So you don't count this or this. So if I like drew a line like this, and I asked you that okay, if I like shade this whole region, so what is going to be the perimeter of this region? So the perimeter of this region will be this, 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 and this. You'll not include this. You'll not include this. If I shaded this area whole and I drew like a line like this, so the perimeter would be this CA, this CB, and then the arc BA. Not any of the lines inside. So let me just get rid of this. So 2 into 14.86 plus 2 into 12. What have we even done? This, then 2 into 12, and then 27. Yeah, it's going to be the perimeter. Oh my god, what just happened? What is happening? So if you add this up, 2a plus 2 times 12 plus 27 is 80. So the perimeter is 80.73 centimeters. Okay, then what is the area of the badge? Oh, this thing is a badge. What kind of badge looks like that? I mean, like, that is not a badge. That looks like more of some structure made of logos by some small 3-year-old baby or a 3-year-old child, maybe a 6-month-old infant. I don't know, but this is a very weird shape. This cannot be a badge. I mean, especially not a military badge. Anyways, so now if you like go on Google and then you write what is area of kite, well, this kite is something like this. So it will ask you for these values, but in this kind of situation, first of all, our kite is never ever like this thing. I mean, is it, to be fair, does it even look like something like this? Does it even look like one kite? I mean, they've said it's a kite, but it isn't. So how do you find the area of this kite? Well, you can see it's made of 2 triangles. First is this one, second is this one. So first thing, how do you find the area of this triangle? Well, you find this, since you know this, you can find this from this, the Pythagoras theorem, and then you just need to like find one of the angles, and then you could use these two sides to find the area. How do you find it for this one? Well, you already know this. Since it's a 90-degree angle, so you just have to do half times x times 12 or 6x. And what about this? You know that theta is 9/4, so half times 12 squared times 9/4. So how do you initiate this? So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna like be an artist. I'm gonna do artistic stuff. So O, B, C, and then that thing that's like D was over here. I forgot to bring these with me. So let's do that. And this is bounded by this. So this is the current situation. Oh yeah, by the way, this is 90 degrees. So first let's look at this little triangle sitting lonely over here. So first we're gonna have to find the area of this. Then we're gonna find the area of this. Excluding that this thing, and then we're gonna find the area of this. So first of all, you're gonna take this. So you're gonna take this. You're gonna take this. Put them all side by side. Then you just want to like drop plus signs and say that this is the area. So first from this you can find what is this length, which is this length. So these two I could say this is y, and then y is equals to, from Pythagoras we can calculate, y is 19.1. So now for this triangle I know that this is y, and this is 9, and then this length, this thing is 19.10. So I need to find this angle. Let's call that let's say alpha. So there's a formula for this. So cos of alpha or theta will be b squared plus c squared, b squared plus c squared minus a squared over 2 into b into c. So after directly applying this and by it's in the formula sheet. So b squared plus c squared minus oh my, I forgot to store this as b. So b squared plus c squared, so 14 something squared plus 12 squared minus the 19.10 thing squared. All that's by the zero. So basically I'm dealing with the cos. This thing is also basically a 90 degree. Interesting. I mean, that could have actually helped us solve part B a bit faster, but no worries. It's good at least we found out. So alpha is 90 degrees. So these two triangles are congruent. So we'll do half. So we can ignore the half now because since it's two triangles, so half times 2 just cancel out. We just need to like do 12 into 14.86 plus half into r square, which is 12 square, into 9/4, the sector thing. So if we add them together, 12, and then let's just put u over here. Please don't lag, 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 please don't lag. You know, this thing might actually like cause it like explode in a way. As if 12a plus half into 12 square into 9/4 is 340.36 ANS. I hope this question ends. Question number, I think this is 10. Yeah. Question 11, let me just put it over here maybe. So in triangle OAB, OA and OB are these. So X is midpoint of OB is X. So I can say this is half B, I can say this is half B, and the midpoint of line AB is Y. So AB I can first of all find, so AB will be B minus A. So this is half B minus half A, and so is this half B minus half A. So the lines OY, so OY and AX intersect at the point B. So it is given that AZ is lambda AX and then OZ is lambda OY. So find OZ in terms of A, B and lambda. So lambda means we have to use AZ instead. So A of AX can be like, so I want to go from A to X, and whether this is A, so I'm going against A and to half B, so this will be half B minus A. So AZ is equals to half lambda B minus lambda A, and then yeah, so since AZ, so OZ, what do I need to go to from AZ? So A to Z, I'm going against A and then with OZ. So OZ must be then going from OA and then AZ. So OA and then AZ. So which is going to be A plus half lambda B minus lambda A, which is simply enough just like 1 minus lambda A and then half lambda B. Then let's see what part B brings us. Must be something weird. Yeah, find OZ in terms of A, B and mu. So mu that means we're gonna have to use OZ is equals to OY stuff. So we have to gonna find OY first. So OY is so A plus half B minus half B is like half A plus half B. It's like adding those two together. So OZ is just half mu A plus half mu B. Okay, then finally we are asked to find lambda and mu. So these usually are combined together, so they don't like give you hints like these. So these were like in a way mini hints. They broke a large question into 3 different parts. So the first set to find in terms of A, B and lambda, then mu, and since you have two different so they have the same thing in two different ways, so you can find both the different values and then you get the same thing again. So we know that half mu is equals to lambda and lambda is equals to 1 minus lambda. So therefore 2 lambda so 2 lambda must equals 1. So lambda must equals half. So mu must equal like by what? I am saying that mu is equals to 2 lambda. I am saying mu is equals to 2 lambda. So wouldn't mu just be 1? Lambda is equals to half mu. So 1 is equals to no. Bro, wait, what am I saying? I am saying that 1 minus lambda is half mu and half lambda is so this is half. So 3 over 2 lambda is like equals to 1. So lambda is equals to 2 by 3, and then so mu is equals to 2 by 3 then, and then half of 2 by 3 is 1 by 3, and then 1 minus 2 upon 3 is 1 upon 3. So lambda and mu are these. So that's the answer. And then we have a part D. So hence find that hence find what? Hence find OZ in terms of A and B only. So mu is 2/3. So OZ, if you like put in the answer of like part B, so you get 1/3 A plus 1/3 of B. Okay, we did this. Well, it's not really on the next page, it's on this page. And so this is what you call like editing. Okay, learn this. Okay. So the curve has this equation. Why does it not exist when x is less than 2/5? So 2/5, if it's less than 2/5, it does not exist because this thing becomes negative. So for x is less than 2/5, 5x minus 2 is less than 0. Root of any number less than 0 is undefined. Therefore, and I'd just like to do this. The curve does not exist when x is all of this. So just write down the statement that they've said. And that's as simple as that. Okay, then we have part B. Why don't we do it on the next page? Because I want to do some. And let me just expand this out a little. And then, so take this, and then I expand this. Okay, then dy by dx can be written in this form. So we're going to say that u is, let's say, square root 5x minus 2, and then u prime is, if we call this thing like a, so dy by dx is 5, and then inside we want to put 2 root a, so it would be just be like 5 over 2 square root 5x minus 2. So and then v, so v is like x minus 3, yeah, v is x minus 3, so v prime is 1. So we just need to find dy by dx by doing u prime v minus v prime u. I said u prime v minus v prime u divided by v squared. Dy by dx, so u prime v, so this goes over here, u prime into v minus v prime u, which is this thing, over v squared, which is this. So if we multiply this whole section and this whole section by the square root of this, and then also multiplied by 2, so most of this suddenly starts to disappear. So this becomes this, and then this becomes this, so multiply, and this is 5x minus 15, and then this is minus 2 into 5x minus 2. And then if you divide this, so 2x minus 3 squared root 5x minus 2. And we have positive integers, so just need to factor out the minus, so minus, and then 5x minus 10x is minus 5x, but since you factor out that, so you get 5x, and then minus 15 plus 4 is 11, so you get plus 11, you add minus 7, and then you go to plus 7, and then you just need to do it by this whole thing to get your answer. So basically a equals 5, b equals 11. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.